What is up, guys? AV17 here, back at it again with a brand new video, and today we're gonna be talking about why I think Dying Light 2 is going to be like a revolutionary title, or maybe just a really good zombie game. Like in all, like I mean, if they do it right. I mean, it is kind of weird that they didn't show any console gameplay, like, ever since, like, just the game has been announced and whatnot. I want to shout out a couple of YouTubers that I've seen, like, almost every day, like, you know, for Dying Light 2 videos and lots of the things I've seen, that I'm going to talk about in this video, like, I've seen lots of the information I've gotten was from these guys' videos, like these people's videos, and yeah, I just want to shout them out because they make very good videos on this type of information. So if you're interested in like Dying Light 2 news or anything like that, definitely subscribe to these guys. They're great help with these types of things. Let them know that I sent them. I'm the guy that like says hi, or not hi, says yes in all caps, like on every video. I don't know. That's just what I do. I do that with like any YouTuber, like where I'm like excited for a video. But yeah, let them know I sent them. I want to shout out OniZombies, bestgamerali, or bestgamerali, whatever that is, and I don't know how to say this guy's name. It's like bwch or something. It's bwch. But yeah, all of their channel like names, or all their channels will be linked down below in the description and in the comments. So definitely check them out if you guys are interested in Dying Light 2 stuff. But yeah, back on subject. So yeah. So lots of people are worried that Dying Light 2 is going to be Cyberpunk 2077, like because of the suspecting things with not them showing that much console gameplay and them delaying the game a lot, you know. So people are a little worried that Techland doesn't have enough time or something, and there might be multiple issues with the game at launch, and I don't think that's going to be the case, because Techland, I feel like, is a very versatile company when it comes to doing just a lot of things. Like, they're working on lots of things at the same time. Like, they're working on supporting Dying Light and like just supporting the game like years and years later with constant like updates and DLC packs and whatnot. And they're making a completely other game aside from Dying Light 2. And they're doing Dying Light 2, you know? So, that's the thing. They're doing multiple things at once. I mean, that might make you think that that might actually make them, like, have even less of a chance of making this game, like, as good as they've made it out to be. But I think that they're going to be good, and they're going to release a really well-made game. But I kind of, like, want to, like, talk about, like, maybe some of my pet peeves with the game. Since we've had a lot of gameplay released about it, and I kind of want to tell you, like, you know, the amazing aspects, like the really good aspects of the game, and what I think they've improved on over the first game. So yeah, so I'm gonna have all these different subjects like linked down below or in the comments, and yeah. I'm gonna have it linked in the comments and in the description, and yeah, like the timestamps and whatnot. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about what I don't like about the game right now. So, well, actually, I'll talk about what I like about the game first, and like just to get that out of the way, and then I'll talk about what I don't like. I think that would actually work better. But yeah, let's talk about the environment. So I really like the environment they're going for, because it just seems very interesting. It seems like they have multiple areas going around in the map, and like they all seem very unique, and it doesn't seem like it's copied and pasted, like it kind of felt in the first game. I mean, the first game, they had pretty detailed environments and it looked really good. Some of the environments have kind of felt copy and pasted, or they just, weren't that interesting to be around in. Like especially after playing the game for a very long time, like I have. Like I've played the story like 3 or 4 times. It gets boring after a while after you're done with like basically everything there is in the game. But either way, like the environment in Dying Light 2 is very interesting. It's nothing like the environment like in the first game, aside from maybe parts of the like map where it might look like Old Town, but we're not running around in like the slum areas anymore. We're running around in cities, environments that are a lot like they have a lot more verticality, like what I mean. So yeah, like it looks amazing as it is right now. They have like it looks like every location's very unique. Like I saw really interesting areas in the trailer where it looks like there's like areas where there's like it actually looks like a city. Nothing looks the same in the city, it looks really cool. But I saw I think it's in this new gameplay that I saw where it was like it showed like an overhanging area with like pillars and stuff, and it looked really cool, and it looked like it was exclusive to that area, and it looked, I think Techland said that they are gonna have like every interior in the game like explorable, which I don't think that's possible with the technology we have right now. I mean, maybe it is, but like that's insane for them to pull off. I mean, the first game had some interior sections in there. I mean, well, maybe not some. There were kind of a lot of areas to check out and explore. Like, there's lots of safe houses and some random areas you can loot, but still, like, it just blows my mind that Techland is going to try to maybe, I don't know if they're going to actually have every interior. I don't know if they changed that. If it's just going to be some. I know it's definitely going to be more, though, because this is going to be a next-gen title and a current-gen title. Or not current-gen, last-gen title. It's going to be next-gen and last-gen title. But yeah, like, well, I guess you could say current-gen, but whatever. Yeah, the thing is, though, like, the environments feel very unique. Like I said before, like the city in Villador is very interesting. Like just how big the map is overall. They said it's 4 times bigger than the maps in Dying Light, which is also pretty cool. The thing is, though, is that like I mean, they said that it's not. I mean, it's shown that it's not as big as you would think it would be, but I still think that's a pretty decently sized map. And I mean, it's not really how big a map is that what makes it interesting. It's really the detail in the map and like what makes the map itself interesting, other than like the size of it and everything, if that makes sense. But yeah, we've talked about the environment, but like how do you actually traverse through that? Like that's how we're gonna get into parkour. So in the first game, it was advertised that you would fight zombies and parkour through like the city and everything, and yeah, I think it's very fun in the first game. It's not very streamlined, I would say. I definitely don't think it's that streamlined. The only somewhat move that is like streamlined is like the slide kick. You move through the environment and kick the zombies, or you run and you do the attack where you run and you like hit them, you like hit the zombies. That is more streamlined because it's like an attack you do while you're running or as you're going forward, or like traversing the environment. But most of the combat moves are kind of completely removed from parkour, and they're kind of their own self-contained like moves that don't really have anything to do with the parkour. But in Dying Light 2, it seems like the like combat is a lot more like the combat and the parkour are a lot more streamlined. Like it seems like they're more intertwined, and you're supposed to use it a lot more, or it's like encouraged to use it a lot more. Like I mean, there's so many examples in the gameplay trailers that you guys can check out. Like it's crazy. Like there's like a move where like you like I think you like hit someone or stun them or something, and you can like jump up in the air and kick them, and then like there's another move where like you can like shove people towards other people. I mean, you can do that in this game, but in the second game it's a lot better, and it looks like it's kind of supposed to make you move more, like if you were parkouring and stuff. And it's really cool the way they like connect it together. And there's like moves I think where like you can like wall run and then like jump off like the wall and then hit someone. That's like shown in like I think one of the first gameplay trailers, and I'm pretty sure it's still something you can do. You know, that's pretty cool. You can like wall run and then like, you know, try to like you can hit someone and then you can keep running. Like that's a lot more like how it seems like it would be, like, or how it seems like it should be, like, since they're making it more streamlined, or like that's at least what it looks like. But yeah, I think it's a lot more improved. They have like a bunch of new animations, which is insane. They have a bunch of different parkour moves that you learn. So it's really like the first game, but if it was a lot more improved. And the graphics, like, don't even get me started. It looks insane. It doesn't even look like it's Dying Light 2. It just looks like, I don't know. It's crazy. I'm gonna talk about that later. But yeah, the parkour seems very interesting. You can wall run, like I said before. Wall running was actually advertised in I think the reveal trailer for Dying Light. I think it was the reveal trailer or one of the first trailers for the game. And it was actually in the game, but then they removed it. You know, it was a cut feature. You know, but it was actually originally in the game, which was really cool, but they removed that from the game, like I said. But yeah, it's cool that they're having it back into the game, and it looks like it's going to be used a lot more. It's going to be used for traversing the world. It's going to be used in potential combat encounters. You know, where you could use the wall running as an advantage, like for to get the high ground on your enemies, or maybe just use it as an attack to like hit them from above. You know, I think it's pretty cool that they're having that reintroduced into the game. You know, so or they're having that reintroduced into the, you know, the series or whatever you would like to say. But yeah. So it definitely seems like they've built the world in a way that encourages parkour a lot more. Like in the first game, it was kind of built that way too, but like it looked pretty normal. Like it kind of looked like what you would expect, like the area to be like when you would. It kind of just reminds you of like an old European city or something, like kind of, well, not really an old European city, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't look like it really encourages parkour, but you can still do it. But in Dying Light 2, it definitely seems like it's more of a priority to get around, and it seems like it's encouraged a lot more because like there's like, you know, there's billboards you can wall run on. There's like ramps and stuff, just in and around the buildings. There's bars and stuff like that, like on buildings. That's another thing. Like, you know, you can grab a bar and then like swing from it, and then, you know, I think you can do it like again and just, you know, climb onto a ledge or something. It's really cool, you know, all these new combat moves and parkour moves and whatnot. But yeah, the next thing, you know, speaking of combat, the next thing we're going to talk about is, you know, well, the combat. So what I think about the combat. So I'm not the biggest fan of like how it looks. It looks like it's definitely improved a lot more in this game. Like, I definitely think it's more refined. I think it's a lot better, like, than what it is in like the first game. Because in terms of like animation work and whatnot, and what you can do to the enemies, there's just a couple things I don't like about it. Which I'll talk about at the end of the video. But yeah, like, it seems very interesting, and I like how they streamlined it with the parkour, like I said before. And you know, there's like different like weapons, a lot more different weapon variety, like just a variety of weapons in general. Like, and they seem like actual weapons that people made and like, you know, scavenged for. It doesn't seem like, you know, oh, I grab, you know, a stick, a hunk of metal, and then I'll make a machete, you know? I mean, that's an exaggeration, obviously, but, like, in the first game, you can craft entire, like, normal-looking weapons that, you know, look like you got them from, like, a store or something before the outbreak happened or something like that, you know? You can make weapons that just look like, you know, they just look like professional weapons. They don't look like they were actually put together, you know? I mean, it doesn't really matter because it makes the game's fun, so why does it matter? But it's cool that they added the detail that, you know, where the weapons actually look like they're handcrafted. That you can see all the different, like, imperfections in the weapon and, like, what, like, you know, how things are, like, strapped onto weapons. Like, it's so much cooler looking, like, just that detail in general. Like, there's a weapon where it's, like, a sign that's, like, cut in half and then sharpened. Like, that very well seems like something you would be able to make and use as a weapon. In the first game, though, you have these exotic things that, you know, you either find them, you know, or you craft them, and it just looks like a completely professional thing that you found in, like, a military base or something. It's very odd. Like, you can make, like, a shotgun or something, and it doesn't look anything like what a normal shotgun would be made by. Like, it doesn't look anything like a weapon that someone made in the apocalypse. That's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, it's just cool that they've added that detail, you know, and how the weapons all look very unique, and it looks like you can do more things with them. Like, now you can like turn on and off the mods. It's not just permanently like a thing on your weapon. In the first game, you know, it was just permanently like that. You would add the mod, and then it would just always electrocute people. You wouldn't be able to control it at all. You could dismantle the weapon, but that would be it. Like, you wouldn't have any weapons. So, you know, you can't do anything with that. Like, after that, you can just use the effect and that's it. But in this game, in Dying Light 2, you can, like, turn it on and off, and it's really cool because, you know, like, what if you, like, you know, don't want to use it for some reason? You could turn it off, you know? It gives you more options. I don't know how this might work, but like if there's it's probably not gonna work this way. I don't know why I thought of this. The durability for mods, I don't know what I thought of, but whatever. It's just cool. It's giving you more options. You can use it in different sections of the game. Like, if you don't feel the need to use electricity, you know, you can turn it off. If you feel like you do need it, you can turn it on, you know? But, yeah. I'll move on to, let's see. Okay, we'll do, the story. So, the thing about the story is that, spoilers ahead, by the way, for those of you who don't know the game, or the story from the game of Dying Light, the first Dying Light game, you know, story of that game. I keep saying the same thing, but yeah, I mean, you guys should know. If you haven't played this game, you need to. It's an amazing game. Dying Light's amazing. You should definitely play it before you play the second game. I mean, you don't need to, but it would definitely give you a feel for things. And it would show you how much, like, care went into the second game. If they make it good, if they make it right, But yeah. Anyway, yeah. In the Dying Light the Following, at the end of it, Crane turns into volatile, or not volatile, the Night Hunter, or it's either a self of like, it's either like a volatile that is self-aware, or it's a Night Hunter. I think it's actually a Night Hunter because they make the loud Night Hunter like call that happens when you play the Night Hunter multiplayer, and that's kind of the theory behind it all, that like the disease, you know, gets past the quarantine zone, and then like, you know, in the multiplayer you're playing as Kyle Crane, who's the Night Hunter and all. I don't know if that ending is canon. I don't know. There's a video on that. But you know, like you'll understand what happens, you know, like if I explain the first game story. But at the end of like the main story, not the following DLC that I just talked about, at the end of the main story though, that is canon, you kill Rise and everything like that, and there's like a potential for a cure, because you help a doctor get I forgot what they're called, bolter samples. You give them like bolter samples or something like that, and I think you give them antism, and there's a possibility to make a cure for the virus. And yeah, so this is going to be like two what if scenarios. So like in the second game, if the following like ending is canon, then the disease has spread out of the quarantine zone. I mean, either way, in Dying Light 2, it is a thing, you know, where it actually did spread out of the quarantine zone, you know. That actually did happen in Dying Light 2. But it might not be for the reason at the end of the following. But if it was canon, it would be because of the end of the following. It's just the weird thing is that there's multiple endings with the following. Like there's an ending where you blow up all of Haran, I think. And yeah, it could be, you know, it could be like one of the endings are canon or none of them are. You know, that could be it. So if the ending where Kyle Crane, you know, like is dead and everything like that, and Haran is just destroyed, you know, that might be interesting. Like, what if there was a mission in Dying Light 2 where you would visit Haran, and you know, it's like ruined and it's in pieces? That would be interesting. It would kind of suck though, because it would kind of make the entire first game just pointless, and it might disappoint some fans. But I don't know. Yeah, but either way, at the end, or not at the end, in Dying Light 2, the story seems a lot more self-contained compared to the other games, or the other game, I should say. I don't know why I said multiple games. There's going to be 2 games now, but you know what I mean. It's gonna be it's more self-contained. You know, it has a completely new protagonist. It doesn't look like there's any ties with the first game aside from the GRE existing and the virus and everything like that. But other than that, there doesn't seem to be many ties with the first and second game. But I'm sure Techland will find a way to link the stories somehow, or there has to be some sort of Easter egg, like referring to the end of the following or something like that. Like I hope there's like at least a mission where, like, you know, maybe you go back to Haran, or maybe like someone like talks about like Kyle Crane as like the savior of the Haran quarantine zone or something like that. Like that would be kind of cool, you know, if they did something like that. I feel like I have a feeling that they're not going to do that though. Like I can already see like on an Angry Joe show video where they're going to talk about what they could have done and what's, you know, good and bad about the game. But I don't know. I watch a lot of Angry Joe show like videos. I feel like that's probably gonna be what ends up happening. But I don't know. Hopefully they do something that ties something in with the first game. I think it's gonna happen eventually. But yeah, it seems very self-contained. It doesn't seem that interesting, at least not to me. But then again, who plays Dying Light for the story? No one really does. I mean, I beat the story just because I want to beat the story. But you know, at the same time, I got Dying Light because I thought it was cool and everything like that because of the way you fight people, not because of the story. That's what I'm trying to say here. I mean, in Dying Light 2, it would be better if they did make the story better, or it would be more interesting. I think it is they are actually, you know, making the story more interesting in this game, and they're actually, like, they're making their choices matter now, which is also a big thing. I forgot to bring up, but yeah, they're gonna have certain things, like they're gonna have multiple factions where you pick certain decisions, like you can like give water to the city, but it might bring in you know, some bad people that want to, you know, like turn the water into like part of the economy or something, or not part of the economy. They might want to, like, you know, hurt people for water. I don't really know if that's still an option. I would imagine it is though, because I mean, I'm pretty sure the water tower is still part of the game, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be, you know, a thing you can still do. But like, yeah, you can give water to the city, or you might decide not to. Those are options. You know, you can give power to a faction that might give you more weapons, and then a faction that might give you better ways of like going around the city. Like there's a faction you give it to, where you could give the electricity to that faction. Like you could turn on the power and like send it to this faction, and they'll give you like zip lines to go around in the city, you know, to traverse more easier. And then there might be another faction, like maybe the survivors, for example, and they might give you more weapons. You know what I mean? So I think it's interesting because they have the peacekeepers, they have the survivors, they have I don't know. They have like a pretty interesting factions though. I think the characters in the factions and the factions themselves are interesting. Like I'm interested in, like, you know, the organization that's like they're prisoners, I think, and they've made their own military faction type thing, and they say the more they kill, the more the power they get from other people or something like that, or you know, that's the presumed evil faction. I think those are part of the same faction. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're part of the same faction. But yeah, like hopefully, like in hopefully, you know, in the game, like it's gonna be more interesting, and hopefully, like the factions, you know, actually do affect things, like the choice you can give with certain factions and whatnot. But yeah, like I'm pretty excited for that. But now we're going to talk about the negatives and the things I don't like about the game and that I absolutely despise, okay? Like these are the things that legitimately made me mad. Like I'm not even joking. Like I looked at the gameplay and part of me died inside. Okay, I'm being completely serious. Like this pissed me off. Techland made me so mad when this happened. Okay, now you guys might think that I'm a maniac and I'm crazy or something, but where the hell's the gore system? Like Techland, like where the hell is the gore system? I'm just saying, where's the gore system? Tell me. It's so annoying. Like I looked at the gameplay, and you have to like basically kill a zombie in order to like. You have to basically kill a zombie in order for them to like have part of their limbs chopped off. Like it looks so weak. Like it looks way too PG. I'm just saying. I mean, coming from a 14-year-old, it sounds very odd, but you know, my parents don't really know the types of games I play, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, Techland has to upgrade the gore system, They have to make it better, like, or they have to do something like with the difficulty. I mean, I'm sure they're not going to do that, and plus it wouldn't really make sense in a difficulty mode unless they made it like realistic, I guess, where you could chop people off. You could chop people you could cut their heads off more easier. Well, actually, that probably wouldn't be as realistic. Nobody can really do that in one full swing like Kyle Crane does. But then again, Kyle Crane's a fucking beast. So, what are you gonna do? Just saying, he's a beast. He can do anything that he pleases, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, he chops zombies' heads off like butter. Just saying. But yeah. Like, I'm just so mad that they toned down the gore. Like, it's so annoying. Like, the gore system exists. It's just that it's not as fun anymore. Like, I feel like the fun of the first game was, killing like a horde of like 20 zombies and just having all of them with their heads cut off. It's like it's cool. It's like you're leaving your mark in the world. Like, you're like, you show your friends and they see like an entire horde cleared out. It's just full of massive dead bodies with all their heads cut off, or their arms cut off, or their legs cut off, I think it's cool, And I'm sure lots of people would agree with me on that. Like, people who played the first game, that's like one of the only reasons they play the game, because of the gore system and how fun and interactive it is to play with the zombies. Like, it's cool. Because, like, it just makes you feel like a badass, You cut their head off, and it looks so cool, Or you cut their leg off, and they're disabled, and then you can, like, smash their head in the ground. Okay, this sounds really weird. If my parents watch this, I'm just saying I would have been in trouble. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, this stuff is insane, alright? Like, it's crazy. Like, I just wish they made it like the first game. I just feel like I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna be bored of fighting zombies, or fighting enemies. I just feel like I'm gonna play it and I'm not gonna enjoy the combat as much as I did in the first game. Like, hopefully that changes, but like, literally one of the only reasons why I ever played Dying Light 2 was because of the combat and how fun it is. Like, if they make the combat like absolute garbage in the second game, I'm basically lost all hope in the game. Like, aside from the exploration and aside from the story, if it's good. But like, seriously, like, something has to make your game interesting to play. It's either you have a good story or it's very fun combat, or both. Hopefully it's both, but I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm done with talking about that specific thing I don't like. Another thing I don't like is that I saw this bwch video or whatever it's called. The dude with the weird name, the bwch name or whatever it is, he made a video reacting to Japanese gameplay of Dying Light 2, and in the gameplay it showed like a section where it was like the section that like borders around the map, and it was just a bunch of yellow stuff, and it looked like it was toxic gas or something. And it's like, oh, we have a cheap way of like enclosing the playable area, and I just hate those types of things in games, like just a cheap way of like being like having a border. Like in the first game, like they enclose it in an interesting way, like it actually kind of makes sense because they have like huge walls enclosing like the quarantine zone. It kind of makes sense, and you can actually interact with the walls. It's just gas though. And apparently you can like increase like the amount you can stay in it, like with using inhalers, which I saw from like another recent video that he made from another guy, this Russian dude that was playing it, and he was like, it said that you can like last longer in the gas with inhalers, but I don't know. Like, hopefully there's like missions where we could go inside the gas and explore. Like, that would be interesting, but knowing my luck, it's probably not going to happen. And it's just going to be a boring way of, like, maybe seeing some parts of the buildings. I don't know. I always like exploring what's outside of games and, like, the borders and stuff, That always interests me. It's just annoying when, like, the game has a cheap border and you can't do anything to go past it. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, and another thing. So, Yeah, people are saying that like they don't like the HUD, and I definitely agree with them. It seems overcrowded. I mean, but at the same time, like, doesn't the first game kind of have an overcrowded HUD? Like, it's kind of weird. It's a weird situation because like I feel like in the first game, it's definitely overcrowded, especially at nighttime, and you get spotted and stuff like that. I mean, in the second game, I kind of feel like they do overdo it. But I mean, I don't know. It's something I kind of don't like. It's kind of pity, but you know, they're saying you're gonna be able to adjust and whatnot. But yeah, yeah. I also don't like that they haven't shown the PS4 gameplay yet, but they're going to with this month. Hopefully, it's not like Cyberpunk. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to support my channel, you know, hit the subscribe button. I have all those channels linked down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next AB17 video.